Welcome everyone, my name is Jim and this is Stroke Life channel. I decided to do a part two of what it feels like to stroke. I feel it's important to add some of the symptoms uh, to part one. I added I left a few things out that I feel like are important to it. Um, I'm also having a little bit of an off day, very tired, and things are kind of going a little bit slow for me today. So, um, what it feels like to stroke part two. Uh, with my some of the things I'm going to add with my first stroke, and I in part one I said like a sleep state, in a sleep state. That's what you what do you call it? Uh, a sleep state you're in. Um, your head is very hot, very foggy. Uh, with that stroke, also that I also wanted to add is these three fingers here and here, but usually these three of your fingers are numb. For me, it was these three. It's usually these three or these three a lot of times. Um, uh, when I did wake up, I went back to bed, and when I woke up, those fingers weren't numb anymore, except for this finger, which I've mentioned in other videos, which is still numb. But the other ones that did come back. Also, with my first stroke, I was very aggravated for some reason. I didn't know why I was aggravated. Maybe because my head was asleep and didn't know why, and kept shaking it but I felt very aggravated for some reason, and I was very off balance on my feet. Uh, so, like I said, I'm a little off today, um, and very disoriented. Also, I ended up um, in the kitchen, and I didn't know why, and where I was. I didn't know I was even, I'm in the kitchen. Why am I in the kitchen? How to get in the kitchen? Um, with the second stroke, uh, had all the same things. The foggy and disoriented. The fingers that time weren't numb at all. These three fingers were not numb. I was very forgetful, and like I said in the other strokes, I was, I lost my phone. I was looking for my phone, and very, uh, very confused, what was going on around me. Um, and the second stroke also, my left hand, I kept on looking at my left hand. I didn't know why I was looking at my left hand. I would never look at my right. Um, and you can ignore part of your body, one side or the other side. Uh, I would always look at my right one. I ignored my right hand side. Never even thought about my right side. Um, just the left hand side for some reason. Again, I didn't know why or what. I just kept on looking at it, and I didn't know why. Why am I looking at my hand? Um, you also your small motor, uh, the dexterity. I'm not even going to be able to say it. Um, Using your hands and your fingers, or zipping them up. I tried to zip up my. I tried to zip up my coat, and I just couldn't do it. I couldn't zip it up. I didn't have the coordination to do it, and I brushed it off a little bit. Um, didn't think a lot about it, but I was still in that half awake, half asleep. Uh, so I didn't even think about, hey, maybe something's going on. Um, so I brushed it off and went about, and eventually I came out of it. like I said in the first one. In the second one, or the third one, I'm sorry, uh, again, it was all the rest of them except the numbness wasn't there. With that one, my face felt very warm that time, and a little bit of pressure, almost like you're having like you're getting kind of a cold, or you're at a little warm, your face a little warm, and pressure on your head. Very, I was very off balance on my feet, having a hard time, um, uh, walking and moving around. I was very deep into that, into the stroke actually, but I keep on saying sleep state. I was very deep into that, but I was actually deep into the stroke. It was actually happening at that time. Um, it's very important that I added this one. Um, if any of these things that you're feeling, um, experiencing those things, uh, let somebody in your house, if you're not alone, if there's somebody home, let them know. If you're able to, also, I didn't know enough. You know, people think, well, geez, why didn't you call um, you know, call an ambulance? There's two parts to that with me. Um, Somebody was there at the third one. We did call an ambulance, and they did come. I wouldn't know enough too, though. Uh, my brain was getting damaged. At that time, I was not even able to um, call anybody myself. Even if I thought about it, I wouldn't have been able to use a phone, or know how to use a phone. um, the other part of that is I did have, between the first and second, and even in between the third strokes, I did have chance. I could have called the doctor and made an appointment. Said, "Hey, I have something going on here that I've never experienced before," um, and I didn't. If it would have made a difference or not, I don't know. It's too late now to even get that answer, because the third stroke came, and um, and this is the aftermath of that third one, mostly, anyway. All these symptoms also, um, uh, with the numbness. I don't have a ton of experience. I'm learning more from more people uh, that I meet, um, with the numbness, or their a dead arm or leg. Uh, it was a different type of numbness that I experienced also. Like I've said before, I think in the other video, that it felt like I was sleeping on my hand, and it's tingly. And that's what it was like. It was like that, but a little bit more, felt a little bit different, that I've never experienced before, felt before, almost like a battery was being attached to it, and a very, almost like electric, going through those fingers. I've never experienced that before, felt that before. So there was some red flags that I did have. But like I said, a lot of those times, and waking up out of a sleep with a stroke, never thought about, I'm having one, and had no idea. But with these things, if you're disorientated and confused, um, everybody experienced a little bit. You walk into a room and, geez, why did I come in here? Think about it for a second. Uh, uh, you come to, and, oh yeah, that's why I came in here. If that goes on, that is not normalness. That's not something normal. look into it right away, because if maybe you did have if maybe you did have a mini stroke, if some of these symptoms are ongoing over long periods of time, not stop and go, but it doesn't stop. It's an ongoing. After a little while, and then slowly, maybe your head gets back together, uh, and the numbness, starting to go away. But it's over a period of time. You could have had a mini stroke also, which I'm going to talk a little bit more about those in other videos. Talk to somebody, go to a doctor, because if you have one, it means one could be right around the corner. A lot of times they're back to back. Mine were like that. So like I said, I wanted to add to the part two with that. Again, like I say all the time, if anybody wants to write in or email me with any questions, please feel free to write in. My email also is jimbstrokelife@gmail.com. And also, sorry, I'm having a very off day. This is part of it, and I'm going to talk more about these. It's not a bad one today episode, excuse me, but I'm having a little bit of an off day. I didn't want to do it, but I said, I'm going to do it because it is part of it, and maybe it'd be good to see. If maybe to you, maybe I'm not off today because now you've seen a few of them. But for me, it is. I'm feeling it. So I'd like to thank everybody also. The subscribers and everything are really are coming along really good. So if you remember, if you're new, subscribe. Subscribing, any likes, even the views, anything on there. By doing that, maybe you are helping somebody out there, whether they contact me or they're watching it. It's helping somebody somewhere out there. And that's what we're here for, and that's what it's all about. That's why I started doing this. It's to help people. I'm not didn't start to do for me. I did it I wanted to help people with that. So like I said, my email is jimbstrokelife@gmail.com. I hope everybody is doing good, and again, thank you everybody for all your subscribes and views. That's awesome. We're rolling along here, and that's awesome. Hope everybody is great, and we'll see you soon. Thank you very much. Bye.